Welcome back to Practical Carnivore. It's been about a month since my last video. Quick update before we get into the subject of this day's video. I was asked to give an update, so here it is. Right after that last video, everybody in my house got sick. Meaning, yes, I got sick yet again. It's probably what that thing that's going around that just knocks you down for weeks, and it's what it did to me. Between that and being busy with my regular work, I didn't have time to put content up. My apologies. I appear to be better. And I will just say this much. The getting back into the gym has been interesting, to say the least, since I got whatever it was that knocked me down, because usually with a cold, I get back to the gym. If it's not even that bad of a cold, I don't skip going. And if it's a bad one, then yeah, I might, because I don't want to get anybody sick. But usually I just bounce back and it's fine. Not this time. So it wasn't a cold, it was something else. It wasn't, the thing that shut everything down a few years ago, 4 years ago now. But it was something pretty bad, because I got back and my strength was gone. My stamina gone. And it's, inching my way back to a good place for me. So that's where we are. So there's your brief update. Now let's talk about the main subject of today's video. We have been told for 100, 200, 300 years in the scientific age that there are certain scientific assumptions we can trust from the scientific community, that we can trust their science on human origins, that human beings have been around on the planet for millions upon millions of years, and that our most ancient human ancestors were hunter-gatherers, mostly hunters, woolly mammoths, you name the big megafauna that they ate, it was fine. That's what we're told. You go to the natural history museums, you see stuff right out of, Planet of the Apes with spears and with giant barbecue and eating, mythical looking beasts, right? Well, in this great push to get human beings to adopt a ridiculously unhealthy plant-based diet, they've decided to revisit the science, and now they tell us that that's not actually true. None of that was actually true. That the true human diet is a plant-based diet. Now, we've heard that claim before. That's nothing new. In past videos here, I've gone over that ridiculous claim. Plant-based diets are the true human diet, and that's what you should be eating. Yada, 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 yada. It's dumb. Commentators far better than I, who are all, nutrition scientists, have gone over that and debunked that theory. So now they're taking this claim to a whole new level. They're making the claim based on this faulty understanding of human history that they have, by simply reinventing human history entirely. This has gotten to the point now of some bizarre man-made religion. Some guy goes off into the woods, comes back to some small town holding his new manuscript from heaven. I have had my encounter with the supreme intellect of the universe. Here's this new gospel. Follow me, right? That's just where we're at now with this stuff. And if you don't believe me, check this story. So we go to SciTech Daily for this headline. Rewriting history. Groundbreaking new research reveals that early human diets were primarily plant-based. We know that's not true at all. There is literally no evidence for it. We know how our bodies respond to meat, that it processes it very quickly relative to other things and absorbs 99% of it, which would not be the case if human beings were built or designed to eat primarily fibrous plants. If we were built that way, we would have multi-chambered stomachs like cows do or other ruminant animals. That's where we would be. But that's not us. We are not like that at all. Nor were our ancestors. Our ancestors ate meat. You could see this. Any culture you go to throughout human history has prized animal products. In fact, some of the most delightful things you can do as a traveler is to find out what other countries and other cultures do with animal products. It's a wonderful thing. It's one of those great things that brings us all together. We love roasting meat on an open fire. It's almost as if it's written into our very DNA to enjoy roasting animal products on an open fire. Funny how that works out, but of course, they want you to have a different understanding of human nature. This new belief, this new religion about the origin of human beings and what our relationship is with the world. And in their view of things, in their religion, we eat plants. We are little better than goats or sheep. From the article, quote, The commonly used term hunter-gatherers for describing early human diets should be revised to gatherer-hunters in the context of the Andes in South America, suggests groundbreaking new research led by an archaeologist from the University of Wyoming. Archaeologists long thought that early human diets were meat-based. However, Assistant Professor Randy Haas's analysis of the remains of 24 individuals from the Willamaya Patia and Soramacaya Patia burial sites in Peru shows that early human diets in the Andes Mountains were composed of 80% plant matter and 20% meat. The study was recently published in the peer-reviewed journal PLOS1. It applies methods in isotope chemistry and statistical modeling to unveil a surprising twist in early Andean societies and traditional hunter-gatherer narratives. Conventional wisdom holds that early human economies focused on hunting, an idea that has led a number of high-protein dietary fads such as the paleo diet, Haas says. Our analysis shows that the diets were composed of 80% plant matter and 20% meat. For these early humans of the Andes, spanning from 9,000 to 6,500 years ago, there's indeed evidence that hunting of large mammals provided some of their diets. But the new analysis of the isotopic composition of the human bones shows that plant foods made up the majority of individual diets, with meat playing a secondary role. Additionally, burnt plant remains from the sites and distinct dental wear patterns on the individual's upper incisors indicate that tubers, or plants that grow underground, such as potatoes, likely were the most prominent subsistence source. End quote. You see what they're doing there? First, they're taking cheap shots at the paleo diet and by extension the carnivore and the ketogenic diets, which they do not like at all. That's what they're doing here by going after the central claim, which is that early human diets were much more ketogenic in nature than they were plant-based. They were animal-based at the very least, if not fully carnivorous. And they're taking the experience from what they have found of one tribe and applying it to all of human beings. That's on its face ridiculous. They're taking one tribe that existed in a remote part of South America and rather heavily implying that that's how all human beings were. It doesn't occur to them to suggest that maybe that was just that one tribe's experience. Maybe that one tribe lived in a place where there just weren't that many large animals for them to eat. So they had to eat a great deal of tubers, a great deal of whatever tree nuts that might exist in that part of the world, and the seasonal fruits and other things. It doesn't occur to them that that's just the experience of that one tribe. Instead, they are heavily implying that that was the experience of most tribes, that most peoples everywhere ate plant-based diets. It's on its face nonsense, it's on its face ridiculous, but what do we expect from the same people who push this plant-based religion on us? And mark my words, folks, this is a religion. This is where it's getting to. We have already heard the concepts of like eco-sins and things, and how people need to repent of their use of air conditioners and their eating of meat and traveling and things, being lectured to by people who do all those things on such scales that we cannot possibly make up for anything that they might be doing by making simple cuts in our life. When they go around lecturing everybody, and in their process of doing that lecturing, they do far more harm than we could ever do. Assuming you, of course, buy their underlying principle. Not necessarily saying you should. Question everything, folks. Question everything that comes from those who would lecture us on how we should be living our lives. It's the only smart thing you can do in this day and age. Do you accept this science? This early human beings ate mostly plants stuff? Do you find this to be just another stupid, nonsensical garbage propaganda piece that they push on people? Let me know what you think about this all in the comments, please. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't, it does help. So to sharing this on social media, that helps too. I'm Anthony Stine, the Practical Carnivore. I hope to have another video up here in the next couple days. Thanks for tuning in, folks.